All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Gooner Evil Eye, coming to you again with a review of that crappy ass Tottenham game. Going into that game, you guys know this from the parts of my review you guys could hear because I was using my default mic. I'm hoping this way works now. I've just decided to revert to my webcam mic, so I'm hoping you guys pick this up fine and there's not too much interference. But essentially, I don't even really know what to say. It was such an inept performance that just left me shocked, I guess. Normally, one thing I will say about Arsenal is 9 times out of 10, when we show up to these games, both teams, I would say, show up to these games. And if there's one thing I will say is we put in effort, right? Effort. At the very least. And I think had we done that, we would have won this game, in my opinion. Tottenham were there for the taking. I'm not really one to give them too much credit because I don't think I should. But I just felt like we had just such a flat performance where just running through our team, you could maybe pick out 3 players that performed well or anywhere near their capability. And those 3 players were Monreal, who I thought had a decent game. Xhaka, who I thought had a very good game. All things being considered, I think everyone was worried about him going into the game. And I think most people had their concerns about his disciplinary issues. But I'll tell you what, I thought he played pretty well. And the man of the match for me, which was Coquelin, I thought Coquelin was the one person who showed some sort of effort, some sort of passion going into the game. Because all of his tackles, they were all sliding tackles or flying tackles, and he won them all, to be honest. I like this Coquelin, I really do. I think he's actually showing some really good form this season generally. But aside from that, we just felt so disappointing. In the first half, they were just coming at us, and we weren't doing anything. They were just coming at us. I think the possession stats in the first half was made, and this is predominantly for the first 20 minutes, and the reason for this, I think they had 59% and we had 41%, which is so unusual for us at home, especially to Tottenham. But somehow we were just allowing them to just attack us and press us and attack us. And it seems like, the fashion seems to be at the moment, play 3 at the back. It seems to be the fashion at the moment. A lot of teams are reverting to this, much in the same way that teams started to adopt 4-4-3, 4-3-3. A lot of teams have started to adopt what I can only describe as the Pep system of 3-5-2. You saw how well it worked for Chelsea yesterday. They destroyed Everton. And it took us some time to figure out, to be perfectly honest. And I think just in the lead up towards the goal, I think we started to kind of, after the first 20 minutes, started to take over the game, started to create plenty of chances. Our finishing was woeful. Theo had a decent effort, which hit the post. It was a ferocious shot that hit the post, but other than that, he didn't really do much, to be perfectly honest. We just looked flat. Then scored the goal, which was a beautiful delivered free kick from Ozil. That was an own goal via Vimmer, I believe. And then just after that goal went in, it looked like that gave us confidence, and we had another opportunity where we could have scored. And it looked like, all right, cool, good. We're going into halftime with a lead. Just start well. And I even said it. I even turned around to my girl at the time. Me and her were watching the game together. And I actually said to her, I just hope that we start the second half well. As soon as they came out, what the hell do you think happened? They came out, looked flat. Probably the worst game I've seen collectively and individually Koscielny and Mustafi have. They got ran ragged by Song. I ain't gonna lie, they got ran ragged. And Koscielny was just caught square. He was caught square. Koscielny tends to give away a lot of our penalties, let's be honest. So nobody's brave enough to say this, but he does. He tends to give away a lot of penalties. And this was no different. Got squared up. It was a clumsy challenge. I mean, I don't even know why he had to make that challenge. It was just inside the box as well. There's no question. It was a penalty. And then Kane struck it home. And it was 1-1. And then it took us a while to again get going. But then even then, we had opportunities to score, like prior to their goal going, and I forgot to even say, Iwobi had a chance where all he needed to do was pick one side of the goal and make the keeper work. Passed it straight down the middle to the keeper. I was like, oh my gosh, Alex, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then there was another opportunity that Iwobi had to cross the ball this time for Xhaka. All Xhaka needed to do, just throw yourself towards the ball. Just throw yourself towards the ball. Just didn't do it. And then the keeper quietly collected it. It was just, to tell you the truth, it wasn't a particularly exciting match. Had Arsenal not been involved, it's the type of match that, to be honest, I would have stopped watching after a while. But because it was to these scumbags, I had to keep watching. I had to keep going. And then it just kind of petered out. It was very apparent, probably 70, maybe 80 minutes in, 75 minutes in, it was very apparent that Tottenham were playing to draw that game. Giroud came on, attempted to get a couple of chances. There was one chance Giroud did have. It was on a plate for Giroud. All Giroud needed to do, very similar to the Alex one, but instead of Alex's one was at his feet, Giroud's one, this was towards his head. This is Giroud's bread and butter. Just place the head at either side of the goal. This idiot just headers it straight towards the goal. Goalkeeper collects it, fine, no problem. It was just a disappointing performance. I think everyone expected the Chelsea performance. Everyone hoped and expected that we would rise to that level because we absolutely annihilated Chelsea that day. And it was nowhere near. To tell you the truth, it wasn't even as good as the Liverpool performance, and we lost that game. To be honest, I just felt it was such a flat, inept performance, and it just left us all really disappointed. I mean, to go into the player ratings for this game, my gosh, I thought Cech had one really good save that he made low towards his left. But then there was an opportunity. I keep telling people, I got a lot of stick when I said that Cech is no sweeper keeper. And he showed that in this game. There was a game where, for some weird reason, we're trying to score a second goal. This is deep into the second half. For some stupid reason, Bellerin throws it backwards towards Cech. Now, Cech, I don't know what Cech is doing. I have no idea if he's staring at a girl or something. I don't know what he's doing. This guy tries to run after the ball, slips. And you're like, Cech, get up, man. Get up. I don't know why Song didn't put in more of an effort to kind of give Cech problems. Song was really gave him an easy time and hurdled Cech, luckily for Cech. But other than that, I mean, that was heart and mouth stuff. But other than that, I thought Cech did well enough. Kicking is still off. I think we're just going to have to accept that with Cech. All in all, I'll give him a 6 out of 10. Bellerin, compared to Wednesday and last week, was nothing. He was nowhere, really. There was one opportunity he had to cross the ball where he overlapped the ball and crossed it. Other than that, I don't really remember too much contribution Bellerin had. For that reason, I give him a 5. Um, I give Mustafi a 4. I don't care. I thought he was poor. I really did. I thought he was poor. Got the run around by Song. 4. Koscielny, you know what, quite frankly, I'll give Koscielny a 4 as well. He cost us a penalty. I also thought he got the run around by Song. He just didn't do anything. And he cost us that game. So I'll give him a 4. As I said, I thought Monreal was the best out of the defenders. There was a brilliant last-ditch tackle that he made, which would have made it 1-1 a lot sooner than it ended up being. Sorry, not even 1-1. It would have given them a 2-1 lead. Brilliant last-ditch tackle that he made. I actually thought he was pretty solid defensively. So I'd give him a 7. I'd give him a 7 out of 10. In the middle, I think I'd give Coquelin man of the match. I'd give him an 8 out of 10. I thought he was brilliant. Probably the only one who inhibited any type of North London derby spirit. I'd give him an 8 out of 10. I'd give Xhaka next to him. I also thought he had a pretty good game. I'd give him a 7 out of 10. I probably should mark him down slightly, and I think I will actually, 6.5 out of 10, for not making more of an effort of that header that came in from Iwobi. Speaking of Iwobi, poor game. Let's just call a spade a spade. I thought he had a really poor game. Didn't particularly do a lot. Improved slightly in the second half, but he could have got much worse from the first. This kid needs a rest or needs something, because he's not performing that well at the moment. I'd be tempted to give him a 5. I'll give him a 5 out of 10. I'll give him a 5 out of 10. I should give him a 4, but he didn't do anything that led to a dangerous chance or a goal. So I'll give him a 5 out of 10. I thought Ozil was okay. I guess his free kick delivery did lead to a goal, I guess. So unless you got to mark him up for that. But other than that, he was missing in the game as well. I'll give him a 6. I thought Theo, other than the fierce shot that hit the post, I don't think he did all that much. I'd probably give him a 6. I thought Alexis was missing in that game. I'd give him a 5 out of 10. As for the subs, Giroud, 5. Ramsey, 5. Ox, 3. I thought Ox was terrible today. Really the worst I've seen Ox. And I'm a big defender of Oxlade-Chamberlain, as you guys know. But it is getting harder and harder as the weeks pass. It's all well and good talking about how you deserve to start games and that. When you're turning in performances like that, Ox, do you really expect to start games? I mean, really? He couldn't seem to beat the first man. Every time he crossed the ball, it was woeful. His decision-making is so bad. And the funny thing is, I'll be honest, I'll hold my hands up. Right before he came on, I was hoping he would come on in the last 10 to 15 minutes because I think it needed someone other than Theo. It needed someone to just run at these defenders because I think Rose is suspect. People rate Rose. I'm not one of them, I must admit. I think Rose is suspect. And I think if it would have taken Ox just an opportunity to just run at Rose, see what happens, deliver some balls for Giroud, who came on, and he didn't do any of that. His decision-making was woeful, so I give him a 3 out of 10. Werner, I give him a 6. I think he picked the team he was supposed to pick. I called that 1-11. He picked the exact same 1-11 that I picked. Made the sub more or less how you would expect him to. I know he faced a lot of criticism for bringing Coquelin off. But to be perfectly honest, I was happy with that swap. And I know, me saying I'm happy that Ramsey came on the pitch, but he's more of an attacking option than a Coquelin. So I completely understand that swap. Um, we needed to get a goal, and we didn't concede anything after Coquelin came off. So I don't mind that swap too much. So I give him a 6. And it was just an inept, flat, disappointing performance. It just really was just hapless Arsenal. It really was hapless Arsenal. Um, anyway, that's me done. My rant over with. Just another North London derby. Do leave your comments below about what you thought about the game. We head into the international break, and then following the international break, we've got Man United away. After today, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm going to do ahead of that game. Because Stell is a Man United fan, I'll probably end up doing some sort of preview or review of the game with him. So do look out for that. I know you guys have been calling for me to invite back Robbie and Stell. They're busy boys. They're busy boys. I have reached out to them a few times. So hopefully, particularly if they're listening to this, hopefully I'll be able to arrange something with one of them soon. Other than that, sorry guys, we just couldn't do it. Hopefully, in a couple of weeks' time, we'll be back and we'll be back at them because Man United won today and won well. So let's hope they're not all of a sudden finding form ahead of playing us, eh? All right, people, I'm out of here. Take care. Peace.